If you're a restaurant owner, listen up. A single busy Friday night could, and I mean literally, lead to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that your standard insurance policy will not touch. It is a devastating blind spot, and so many owners don't even see it coming until it's way too late. In this explainer, we're going to uncover the true cost of liquor liability and show you exactly how to protect the business you've worked so hard to build. Now, this isn't some crazy hypothetical scenario. This is a real-world nightmare that destroys businesses literally overnight. And here's the most important thing you need to understand right now. Your standard general liability policy is basically designed to leave you completely exposed in this situation. It's the single biggest insurance gap for any restaurant owner, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to close it for good. Just think about it for a second. If you serve even one glass of wine a year, your business is on the hook. The risk all comes from something called Dram Shop laws. These are state laws that hold you liable for what an intoxicated person does after they leave your property. It's a really unique and, frankly, incredibly serious responsibility. All right, let's dive into the specifics here. The core problem, the thing that gets so many people in trouble, is the huge gap between what you think your policy covers and what it actually says in the fine print. And trust me, that assumption can be a very, very dangerous one. Okay, so here's the fundamental difference you absolutely have to know. General liability, that covers accidents that happen on your property. A classic slip and fall, somebody gets burned by spilled coffee. But liquor liability covers what happens after that person leaves. The second they step off your property and cause harm, your general liability policy is designed to just shut off. It's no help at all. And this isn't some kind of accident or an oversight, it's an explicit exclusion written right into the policy. You'll see a very specific phrase, if you are in the business of doing so for a charge. That language is written in there deliberately to kick you off the coverage for the biggest risk you take on every single day. And that is precisely why a separate liquor liability policy isn't just a nice to have, it is absolutely essential. So what do these massive, high-stakes lawsuits actually look like in the real world? Well, there are two scenarios that come up again and again, and either one can be financially devastating. Let's break them down. First, you've got the classic Dram Shop claim. You serve a person who's already visibly intoxicated one last drink. They get behind the wheel, cause a horrific accident. That lawsuit is coming straight to your door. The second, and it's just as serious, is serving a minor. Even with the best ID scanners, if an underage person gets served and it leads to any kind of harm, a lawsuit is pretty much guaranteed. And that's not even counting the huge uninsurable fines you're going to get from the state liquor board. So this is the crucial question, right? You need to ask yourself right now, are my current liability limits high enough to survive something like this? Because in most states, there are unlimited damages in wrongful death claims. A standard $1 million policy, that might not even cover your legal fees, let alone the final judgment. If you're not sure, you are dangerously exposed. So let's just pause for a second here. If you have any doubt at all about your coverage, click the link in the description or the pinned comment right now. It takes like 60 seconds to start a totally free, no-obligation review of your restaurant's insurance. We'll focus specifically on closing these critical liability gaps for you. Now, even if you have a policy, the judgment from the lawsuit itself isn't the only thing you have to worry about. There are all these hidden costs that can absolutely cripple your business, even if you end up winning the case in court. Yeah, you have to think about the other dangers. First up, legal defense. Your attorney fees can just skyrocket, and if your policy limits are too low, that's coming out of your pocket. Second, a major violation could mean losing your liquor license. For most restaurants, that's game over. And finally, the damage to your restaurant's reputation can be permanent, especially in a tight-knit community. But look, it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is that you can be proactive about this. Your insurance provider shouldn't just be a company that pays claims. They should be a partner helping you prevent them from ever happening. And a lot of great insurers provide excellent resources for free. Here are a few things you can do today. First, document every single time you refuse to serve someone. This creates a paper trail that shows you're being responsible. Second, make sure all of your staff, and that includes managers, are trained with state-certified programs like TIPS. And third, have a clear written policy for handling intoxicated patrons that empowers your team to make the right call. Okay, so let's pull all of this together into a really clear protection plan. How do you actually secure your restaurant's future against this very specific, very high-stakes threat? Really, it all comes down to this one thing. Liquor liability coverage is not an add-on. It's not an option. It is the absolute cornerstone of a sound financial plan for any business that serves alcohol. It's the one policy that stands between a normal night of business and complete financial ruin. If you serve alcohol, you just have to have the right coverage with the right limits. There's really no substitute. The single most important thing you can do after watching this is to verify your protection. Click the link below this video right now to get your free custom restaurant insurance quote. It's fast, it's simple, and it could literally save your business. Please, don't leave this to chance. The first step is super simple. Just click that link to get your free, no-obligation quote. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button for more essential tips to protect your business. We're here to help you succeed. Thanks so much for watching.